Welcome to Giving Hearts, the show that celebrates kindness, compassion, and generosity. Each week, we'll be shining light on some inspiring individuals and organizations that are making a significant impact in their communities. From philanthropists to volunteers, activists to advocates, we'll hear their stories, and it's a pleasure to have all these persons on the show with us. Now, in a world that can seem so overwhelming and overbearing, and sometimes even a little bit bitter, it's great to know and acknowledge that there's still some good left in this world. We'll be exploring the different ways that people are working together to build bridges, strengthen the communities, and to give back. Now, today we're joined by Dr. Kimberly Salmon, yes, and she's the founder of Valda Hope Foundation, which is dedicated to providing educational opportunities and community development initiatives. Now, Dr. Salmon's inspiring story and vision are a perfect example of the kindness, compassion, and generosity that we need in this world. So when we get back from this break, we'll get to hear some more about Dr. Salmon and her story. Welcome back to Giving Hearts, and in this episode we'll be speaking with Dr. Kimberly Salmon of the Valda Hope Foundation. Hello, Kimberly.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, it's great to have you here, and for Valda Hope Foundation and of course for your own initiatives, we see the great work that you're doing, so it's only fitting that we highlight you on the show today.
Thank you very much.
But the people want to know who this lovely lady is, so can you tell us a little bit more about Dr. Salmon, or Kimberly as you asked me to call you, keep it chill.
Yes, this is probably one of my hardest questions. I definitely don't want to start out with what I do.
Yes.
Listen, I'm a Christian, I am a daughter, I am a sister, I'm a friend, I am an immaculate girl through and through, 15 years, UE grad, and of course I am a medical doctor, I'm a general practitioner. I'm also a public health specialist.
Excellent, so excellent. Well, immaculate old girl over here as well. So of course the Blue Sisters, the Franciscan Sisters are proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you
as an alumni as well. But for Valda Hope, tell us a little about the vision of the foundation, how it started first of all, and what inspired you to get involved in philanthropy.
All right, so the Valda Hope Foundation started with a simple walk that my mother and I took. Wow. So my mom is super big on giving back, and she was giving back in a lot of small ways and big ways. And I just kind of wanted to honor her and ensure that we had something that was a little bit more structured to give back.
Nice.
Yeah, that was definitely the vision. I also really wanted to ensure that, listen, somebody doesn't have to pass for you to start a foundation. You wanted to ensure that she was able to see what we're going to do in terms of how we're going to raise funds and how we're going to give back, and that she was okay with it. Nice. So it's a great way to just honor her and honor the work that she's been doing for many years. Excellent,
excellent. And tell us why you decided to focus particularly on education and community development.
Listen, if you know Valda, if you know my mother, education is the biggest thing for her. She love a bright girl, she love a bright boy. So for me, education was super easy. That's her passion, is to ensuring that everybody, early childhood education, primary, secondary, tertiary, she's all about education. So that was definitely, there was nothing else.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I mean, it's typical of Jamaican mothers especially.
I'm telling you.
Book. So it's good to see that she's carrying on that legacy, and she's instilled that in you as well.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And instilled it in all of my siblings.
Nice.
So, we all have college degrees, one or two. And education has always been big in our household.
Nice.
Yeah.
So can you tell me about a personal experience that really inspires the passions? I know you spoke about the walk with your mom, but have you had any encounters throughout your years of service where you really feel like you're fulfilling a purpose here on earth?
What I can say is that, so I was privileged enough to go to a prep school, right? So I went to Immaculate Prep, but we go to a church that is in an inner city community. So there was always kind of disparity between what I was able to see Monday to Friday and then what I saw Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday when I was at church. Right, and it was like, hey, these people really don't have all the things that they need. Education is not seen as a big deal in this community. So for me, that disparity growing up always kind of triggered, how do I get people to kind of be where I am, even though they weren't growing into the best, born into the best circumstances.
Okay,
yeah.
So Valda Hope Foundation, you founded this foundation, you're on a mission to help young people, communities, everybody to be a part of this. So we're going to get right back and speak some more about the foundation and the work you've been doing. And we want to hear what your vision is for the next 5, 10, 15, 100 years. All right, we'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Giving Hearts, and we're here talking with Dr. Kimberly Salmon, and she's telling us a little about the work she does for the community. This episode is all about kindness, generosity, and compassion, and we're in the community ensuring that we make a difference in the lives of our Jamaican people. So Dr. Salmon, back to you. So Valda Hope Foundation is where we're at right now. So tell me about the mission and vision of the foundation at this point.
All right, our mission is to deal with the auxiliary needs of kids going into high school. So right now we deal with PEP graduates, which are 6th grade going into high school. And you know, high school is pretty much free in this country. There's some little miscellaneous fees, but pretty much free. So we try to give books, shoes, lunch snacks, and uniform allowance for those kids. But importantly, we want to ensure that the kids that we're reaching are impacting their community. So you have to be involved in an extracurricular activity. You know, we want you to be involved, whether it be your church or some other organization. You know, we're not catering to people who necessarily have 95%, but we want to know that you're doing well despite the challenges that you have in your own circumstances.
Nice. Okay, so I hear you touching on some of the criteria. So can you just give us that rundown as to what it is that you look for in these recipients?
Yeah, man. Well, we definitely want our kids to be good citizens, just good citizens. So we ask for a referee report. You know, we ask for them to write an essay stating what they want to be and how that will impact the community, so that we're not just thinking about themselves and, oh, you know, I want to be, you know, something just for me. How is it going to impact somebody around you in your immediate community and somebody, you know, even globally? Of course, a PEP graduates, for sure, and somebody who has the need, right? We want to ensure that we're reaching kids who actually have the need.
Excellent. This is a great initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining, we're here with Dr. Kimberly Salmon, and we're getting into the details as it relates to the Valda Hope Foundation. So tell me some more about the community projects that you've engaged in so far, and if you have any stories that you'd like to share about the work you've done and how it has impacted anyone individually or even yourself.
So outside of us giving our scholarships every single year, we have also donated. So one year we had a whole heap of applications from Ocho Rios Primary School. Unfortunately, nobody was able to win from that school. So what we did instead was that we donated 2 computers to the school and a printer to ensure that we were able to give back. We've also donated to Mary's Child, which is a home for pregnant mothers, and the children actually stay in that home. Teenage mothers who are going to school still. And during that time it was COVID. So everybody had to be fed at home. And I think people don't realize how many people are on feeding programs at school and how hard it was for people to add an additional meal at home. So we're able to give, you know, a whole bunch of goods, as well as we renovated their computer lab so that they were able to continue their online learning. In terms of, I mean, experiences or stories, there have been so much. I mean, going through the essays that we get is literally gut-wrenching, and it's incredibly hard to kind of pick somebody, you know, people who have lost fathers, or, you know, one parent is incarcerated, or, you know, they grew up with their grandmother or their aunt who already has children and are trying to provide for them as well. The experiences are endless, but we're grateful to do what we can in our small corner, and I think that's really important for us. You know, we're not going to be able to reach every single kid. There's no way we're just not going to be able to, but we are able to reach a small group, and we support other foundations, you know, in their, you know, attempts to reach their small group in their small corner. But I think if everybody kind of did a little bit, we'd all be a little bit better.
Exactly, and I agree with that point. And you mentioned working with other foundations, so partnerships. I know that's very important in this giving back space. So tell me about the partnerships and how they've been valuable to support the cause.
Absolutely. So we have lots of sponsors who have come on board, whether it be in support of our charity auction, which is how we raise money, or whether it be specifically in giving back to the children. So we have a lot of big companies who have their own foundations, who have given us laptops to give away, who have given us food items and gift baskets to give to our winners. Additionally, we try to give back to foundations as well, to support them who, it's so strange to say it, but who are smaller than us, because I still feel like we're so small. But we're trying to ensure that there's a community, and there is a huge community of, I mean, and there's always room, right? There's always room for somebody else to start a foundation and to have a different mission, and we just want to ensure that community that is strengthened.
Yes, definitely. Wow. So Valda Hope Foundation, they're doing big work. I should say they might be small-ish, but they're doing big work and they're helping a lot of persons in the community. So tell us how we can get involved. How can we support the vision and mission of Valda Hope Foundation?
Well, today is one of those days. So, of course, for any foundation, they have to raise funds to give away. For us, everything that we raise is 100%. You know, everybody who works with us, so who is on the committee is myself, my mom, my brother, and, you know, our good family friend, Jody. And we all work for free. Right, so everything is, we have to get everything so that we're able to give it back. How you can support: one, donating, and that goes from donating food items, that goes from donating school supplies, or donating actual cash to us. And one thing that we pride ourselves on is transparency. You are going to see every single thing that you have donated given back in a picture with a child, because it's important. You know, we live in a world where people unfortunately do scrupulous things, unscrupulous things, and we have to ensure that, hey, you gave us, you know, 10 tablets, which we had last year to give away. These are the 10 kids who were able to give them to.
I love that. Accountability.
Absolutely.
Very important. Thank you so much for sharing those stories. We're going to get more into it. We have a quick break to come, but just before we go, can you tell us a little more about the vision for Valda Hope Foundation? Probably a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan for Jamaica.
Well, I just want to say that I didn't envision it for it to be where it is right now. The first year we gave away about 80,000, and last year we were able to give away $1 million, and that's in our 7-year kind of history. So that's something that I never expected, and my mom will tell you the same. This is bigger than we ever envisioned. So I want to say in the next 5 years, it's just to be able to reach more children than we already do. Right now, the grant is a one-time grant. I know that's something that we've been trying to see if, you know, we can provide like a 5-year grant for our students. But it's really important to us to give something that's tangible. You know, we don't want to give $1,000 to 100 students, but we want to give 100,000, something really impactful for one student that will actually aid in, you know, changing their life is such a big word, but changing their circumstances within that year.
Within that year. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after this break with Dr. Kimberly Salmon. But we're talking about giving back in the community. We're here with the Valda Hope Foundation. Dr. Salmon, you're doing great work. But we'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Giving Hearts. In this episode, we're here talking with Dr. Kimberly Salmon and the work that she's doing through the Valda Hope Foundation. Now, it's a very, very, very important mission and vision that they have to support young people, support Jamaicans, and build the community. Earlier, we heard a bit about her plans, her vision for the future, but now we're just going to talk some more about the real challenges. Because it's not easy to run a foundation. A lot of people think it's just, okay, jump up, start a foundation and get going, but it really is a lot behind the scenes that's happening. So we want to get into that so people can really know what's happening for you and your team. So tell me, what are some of the challenges you faced and how have you overcome them in this long 7-year history that you've had?
Can I tell you that the challenges themselves could be a book?
Yes.
But I'll try and keep it short. You know, it's really important for us to be a registered charity.
Yes.
And there are hoops that we have to go through to do that. And again, understandably so. You know, we're talking about people's money and we're talking about accountability. That's a challenge to ensure that, you know, we have our audited financials and we have our yearly report and stuff. It's a challenge. It's not easy to do, especially because, again, you know, this is not a full-time job for anybody who is on the committee. So that's one thing. I want to say the second thing is the power of social media is a challenge.
Really?
And I say that because the things that get likes are not what we present. You know, I don't have a pretty girl in a dress. I don't have a party to promote. You know, what I have is kids and their story, and people may think that gets a lot of views and a lot of likes, but it doesn't. And if it doesn't, then it's not going to end up in your feed. So really and truly, visibility for something that is wholesome is not as easy as people may think, and we all know that if it's not, it's an influencer culture right now, and influencers, you know, bringing a lot of money, and it's difficult, and that has definitely been a challenge for us. Just visibility. I would say those are two of the biggest things. Also, a huge challenge is when we get our applications in and having to sift through them. Of course, we have our criteria, and we're like, yes, they submitted this and this, and but it's hard to choose 10 out of 200 or 10 out of 300 like we did last year. That's not easy, and we really wish that we could do more, but we can only do more with more support.
Yes. Well, on that note, this is your opportunity to support the Valda Hope Foundation. So please, to follow on Instagram, follow on all social media platforms, link up Dr. Samuel and the website. Yes, don't forget that, and find ways to support and donate to the cause, because they need your support. Yes, and you're doing great work, as I said. Come on now. Yes.
Thank you very much.
So in terms of, we have people who are watching who are probably inspired by the stories, but there are people who are also struggling as well. So do you have anything to say to those persons who are struggling, feeling a little hopeless, and they're looking for somewhere to get support? Any words of encouragement for them?
As cliche as this may be, the first one for me is always going to be God.
Yes.
For sure, in terms of finding that hope. But secondly, there's a lot of resources out there, and there's a lot of untapped scholarships and as I said, resources that are available that people don't know about. So there are certain platforms online that kind of group all the scholarships together and show you what's present. Find that. Buy a paper and read it and see there's so many unclaimed things every year too. So just don't stop. Just like with a resume, you don't send out one resume, you send out hundreds to try and get what you want. So I would say don't stop, and just know that everybody here has a purpose. Everybody here has the power to change somebody's life, and it doesn't have to be a big show. It can literally be the person who's next to you, that neighbor who requires something that you have or that you can have and give them.
That's true.
So everybody has a purpose. Just tap into that purpose, tap into God, and tap into the resources that are available. Ask around.
Somebody knows something.
Somebody knows something. Trust me. And word of mouth and a friend of a friend of a friend has been one of the reasons why we stay afloat and why we get these donations. Somebody's auntie is out there who has the information. You just need to find them.
You just need to find that. Wow. All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Samuel, for coming on Giving Hearts this week. And we love the work that you are doing in the community. We appreciate everything that you've done and continue to do, and we look forward to the full success of your organization. Before we wrap up, can you give our viewers your social media handles as well as your website and how else they can contact you to support?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. And I just want to say thanks to my team who work impeccably hard, which is Valda Salmon herself, Jody Ann Aris, and my brother Luxembourg Salmon. Thank you all so much. Our social media handles on Facebook and on Instagram is Valda Hope Foundation. Our website is www.valdahopefoundation.org, and all of the information that you need is there, including if you know somebody who can apply for this year for the scholarship, or any year to come, all the information will be there.
Okay, so applications are open now?
Applications are open on July 18th.
July
18th.
Good. So
yes, which interestingly is Valda Hope's birthday.
Excellent. So we hope you get a chance to apply, and we hope you're successful.
Absolutely.
In those applications.
And we're looking forward to meeting our winners this year.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much again.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
So appreciative. Thank you.
And thank you to our viewers for sticking around for this episode of Giving Hearts. Please remember to follow us on social media at PBCJamaica so you never miss an episode. But remember to keep on giving, and remember that there's still some good left in the world, and you can be a part of that difference. I'm Brittany Clark. Have a great day.